Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. That is the question. What is quality over quantity? What is quality over quantity? I'm sorry about that. I have to shut the door there because our neighbor's dog seems to like to bark at this time. But what is quality over quantity? Or what is it? What is the comparison? What is the difference? Especially when it comes to DVDs and maybe even Blu-rays. Well, I'll tell you what the difference is. Certain DVD and Blu-ray distributors will favor quality over quantity, and what that means, especially in the case of, let's say, a television series or an animated television series, they will favor quality over quantity. In other words, they will take less of what you want and put it on more disc than necessary. In the case, let's compare both Heathcliff releases by Shout Factory and this one by Mill Creek. Now, when Shout Factory did this one back in, I think, trying to find a year here, I don't see the year. It was 2000 something, I know that. 2000 something, I can't really remember. I think it may have been 2006, 2007 or something like that. But quality over quantity for sure was the quality over quantity was the decision by Shout Factory. Shout Factory decided that with just 24 episodes, they were going to use 4 discs. Now, many fans actually approve of the quality over quantity deal because you get a sharper picture, you get a cleaner and sharper picture from the master tapes in which the show was broadcasted on. The master tapes, the ones they use for broadcast. The broadcast tapes, or whatever you want to call it. You get a cleaner, sharper image. More so, if let's say, more so than that, you get more disc as well. Well, you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. But basically, Shout Factory and other studios out there, sometimes their basic concept is, if you want quality, we're going to give it to you. It may take us using more discs, using more DVD disc or whatever, or Blu-ray disc to do so. But hey, we're going to give you quality. And that's what they do. They do give you quality. They do give you quality. Take a look at Gem, for example. The Gem set that they have released. They've released the entire series of Gem over the span of not just 3 separate volumes, but if you got the box set right off the bat, like I did and Sarah Nizerak did, then you not only got all 3 seasons, but you got all 3 seasons on 10 separate discs, with an 11th disc with bonus features. Yeah, 2005 is when this came out. Yeah, 2005 is when this came out by Shout Factory. But again, Shout Factory with something like Gem released that series over quality, used the master tapes for it, but released it on 10 separate discs with an 11th disc focused feature, used for bonus features. Now, you might say, well, why would they want to do that? Why would they want to do that much? It raises the price, it raises the cost, doesn't it? Yes, yes, it does raise the cost and it does raise the price, but here's the point. They're giving you, the main focus for a company like Shout Factory is quality. The same could be said for N-Circle Entertainment. I'm not really sure yet, because I haven't purchased any of their re-releases of, let's say, Sonic or the Marios. Once I do that, I may see if there's any kind of situation. Some say, when it comes to the N-Circle ones, that they're just the Shout Factory ones, but a little edited or something, I'm not sure. So if that's the case, then the same goes for N-Circle, they're quality over quantity. But, here's the thing. The quality is good. Quality is good. They did a tremendous job with remastering these episodes when they released it back in 2005. But here's the thing. In 2005, the decision, and still is today for a company like Shout Factory, is, again, I know I'm repeating myself here, quality over quantity. Because it's not just with Gem either. It's not just with Gem either. Believe it or not, they also released Transformers in all 3 different seasons in separate discs. They did. They have done just that. I mean, you can ask Zer Nizarak himself. He has the special edition release of the entire series. But he has that. And basically, it's the entire series, but over the span of, like, say, 10 discs or something like that. I'm not really sure. Now, Rhino, no doubt, did the same thing. But they did theirs in 4 separate volumes. And in 4 separate volumes, if you will, they tried to give you quality. I'll give them credit. They tried to give you quality. But from many reports, they basically want to go beyond that by giving you quality, by doing something that many people feel they shouldn't have done, and that's work off the work prints instead of the master tapes, like they had done for the individual DVD releases before they went and did the series. They did the same things, obviously, with Gem, and they obviously did the same things with G.I. Joe. But the point is, sometimes in studios' minds, even if it's not the right decision, quality is the better option. And when Rhino, like I said, did their situation, they wanted to go beyond just quality. They wanted to go beyond into a quality that's like, hey, if we ever decide to go into the I'm pretty sure, because they probably thought about this. Because Blu-ray was, I think, just getting ready to be developed or be introduced. Or HD DVD was being introduced or something like that, too. They probably thought to themselves, you know what? If we work off these work prints, we could probably do something with this show that no one else would expect. We could probably do the HD. They probably thought that. That's why they probably worked off the work prints when you think about it. But again, it's all about the quality, and sometimes with a company like Rhino, going beyond that and trying to do more than you should with materials that really you shouldn't be using. Now, again, with Shout Factory, they did a better job. Not just with Heathcliff here, not just with Sonic Sat AM, not just with Underground, I'm pretty sure of, and not just with Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Gem, and even Mask, if you will. But they did it the same thing with the Jason the Wheeled Warriors, and so on and so forth. And even the Mario Brothers. They did a great job on the packaging, and obviously from reports, they did a great job on remastering the broadcast tapes and all that, and making them sharper and clearer. But the only thing was, but again, the thing was, they favored the quality over the quantity. And even though you got a nice case and everything, you got a nice box set with each of them. See right there? You got a nice box set and everything. The big thing was, you had 4 discs, which only contained 24 episodes of the first season. And again, that goes back to the favoring quality deal. Now, how does Mill Creek, a company like Mill Creek, compare to it, or any other company like Mill Creek? Well, Mill Creek basically kind of gets a mixed reputation. See, Mill Creek is more, to me, from what I can see, more down to earth. They're more kind of a homebred company, like a house-bred company, if you will. You see, they understand that quality is good, but you also want to give them quantity. You want to give them more for the buck. You want to give them more for the buck. Now, when this came out, this was originally going for something like almost $24, $25 at a Best Buy, where I got it from. I got this off Amazon for about $5.90. And this is the first 32 episodes. And this is all the episodes that you see here that's on this one, plus 8 more and a bonus episode of the Get Along Gang. What more can you ask for? For $5.90. Now you go to the Mill Creek website and try to purchase it there, and yeah, it's going to be about $8 more. $8, $6, $7 more just about, but that's okay. It's a lot cheaper than buying something like this. And that's the whole thing about certain companies like Mill Creek favoring quantity over quality. They realize that if you're going to release sets like this, one, you want to give the fans mostly what they want. And if you're going to give them a season, yeah, separate it. If you're going to give them one season, you're going to give them a season. You know, one thing they will have in common with companies like Shout Factory and Rhino and all that is, yes, you know, separate it into 2 volumes if you have to, because there's many episodes in that season. There's many episodes in that season, but two, if you will, here's the thing, but 2, you want to separate them into different seasons. Like I said, you want to separate them into different seasons. But 2, you also want to give them more for the buck, and you know, you want to keep having their business coming back, so you want to give them more for the buck, but you also want to make sure it's affordable enough for them. You want to make it affordable enough for them to buy. So when they saw, obviously, that Shout Factory was charging originally was charging 24 to 25 bucks for just 24 episodes over 4 discs, just because of quality, which is a good thing, they realized, you know what? We could probably do more. We can probably give them maybe 8 more episodes, a bonus episode from another show, and we could give it to them for a cheaper price. And you know why they go cheaper? And you know why it's cheaper? Because when you look at this, look at the comparison. This is a box set with 4 discs. This has 3 discs. This has 3 discs. And it looks like a regular DVD case, right? But it's not. It's actually one of those DVD cases which hold slip cases. That's right. In here, you have 3 DVDs consisting of 32 episodes of Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, and on the first disc, a bonus episode of the Get Along Gang. So technically, 33 episodes, 32 Heathcliff episodes, and a Get Along Gang episode on 3 discs. Now, like I said at the beginning, Shout Factory does get a bit of a bad reputation. Not a bad reputation, but they get a bit of a mixed reputation from a lot of people. Some people on Amazon say, you know, hey, Mill Creek's becoming my favorite, you know, DVD distributor of shows. And shows because of the pricing and the fact that they can fit more on less discs, and the fact that they use less discs, less DVDs to fit more on. Or they basically use less DVDs to fit more on there. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, others have also agreed that, yeah, Mill Creek's becoming their favorite too, but this is where the mixed reaction comes in. The fact that the mixed reaction is, you know, there are certain episodes that, like say on here, are fully remastered and everything. Like, let's say, I think it's on here somewhere. I'm not. Well, maybe it's not. I'm trying to see if they. No, they don't have it on here. But they said something like "young cat with a horn," and maybe Hector's takeover or something like that. They said that there's a difference there. There's a huge difference. Like in either, I don't know if it's takeover, Hector's takeover, or young cat with a horn. But this one person said that the only thing that kind of annoys them is there's certain scenes in one of those cartoons, one of those Cadillac Cat cartoons, which there's certain scenes that are kind of cut out in the Mill Creek release that are not cut out in the original broadcast that you see on television or you see on Netflix streaming, but are cut out on the Mill Creek release. That's the only thing that irks some people at times. That they're giving us more for less. They're giving us more episodes at a cheaper price, but in a sense they're also kind of skipping a few scenes or editing out cutting out some scenes that don't need to be cut out. And that's understandable and that is understandable with a company like Mill Creek because, they're trying to give you, like I say, quantity over quality, quantity over quality, and more for less. In other words, they're trying to give you more for your buck. They're trying to keep it within your price range. I mean, heck, I was only like at $14. I had when I got this, I had not much in my account, but just enough to tide me over for the month. And I still was able to get it. The point I'm trying to make in this video, and I know I sound like I'm rambling, is the difference between DVD distributing companies like Shout Factory and Mill Creek and those like them, is that with someone like Shout Factory and maybe even Rhino, is they'll give you what you want, but they'll give you less of what you want on more. They'll give you less on more. In other words, they'll give you less, in this case, they'll give you 8 less episodes of the first season, or 8 less episodes, I should say, of the first season, on 4 discs because they want to give you quality, a sharper, cleaner image. But the difference between them and Mill Creek is Mill Creek, they understand this, but they also understand, you know what? If you're going to do separate volumes, or the way they look at it is if Shout Factory was planning to do separate volumes of the show, that you want to try to give them one half. You want to try to split it in half. Like this is the first half of season 1, and season 2, whenever they bring that out, season 1, the second volume, the second volume of season 1, whenever they bring that out, will have the other half, if you will, the other 33 episodes of season 1. So that's why Mill Creek has a better understanding at times. It's like, look, it's like they're looking at Shout Factory, a company like Shout Factory, and they're saying, yeah, you did a great job with the box set. You gave them great quality in sharpening and remastering their imagery, or the picture, but you're giving them 24 episodes on 4 discs. That's not even half of the first season. I mean, what are you going to do? Do it again? Give them 24 on another volume? Huh? Is that it? Make it 48? 8 on another 4? Give them, what, 24 more on 4 other discs? On 4 other DVDs on the next volume, and give them 48? And then what are you going to do next, huh? What are you going to do next? You got 48. How are you going to work that out? You're going to give them, what, 17 more or something like that, or 16 more on, 3 discs for a 3rd volume? It doesn't work that way. You want to give them, it doesn't work that way. You don't want to do that. You don't want to split the season in 3 parts. It's a waste of money. It doesn't make sense. And someone obviously at Mill Creek understands that, because they see companies like Rhino, that even though Rhino tried to go beyond the giving quality kind of deal by using the work prints on several of their Hasbro releases, that Shout Factory re-released later on by using the broadcast tapes instead of the work prints, But when Rhino tried to do it, at least Rhino had a better understanding of, okay, look, we need to do, if we're going to separate them, we need to separate the seasons into two parts, into two different volumes. And that's what they did. That's the one good thing they did. That's the one good thing they did. And Shout Factory's done it too. Because nowadays, with DVD cases like this, they can hold about 3 to 4 DVDs. They're doing that with shows like Jem, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. But again, the point is, what they're doing is they're doing quality over quantity. Let's say Mill Creek was in charge of releasing Jem or Transformers or G.I. Joe. Let's say Mill Creek was in charge of that. Mill Creek would basically do this. They would take 32 episodes, maybe put 11 more on, and let's say about 43, 44 episodes on 4 discs of G1 of Transformers. That's what they would do, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. That's what they would do. But they haven't done it, because Shout Factory has the rights to that. But the point I'm trying to make is, Shout Factory, yeah, they're the kind of company that will give you quality over quantity, even if they have to separate the seasons or by volume, or if they just have to separate the seasons individually. And the same goes for some other companies, and even like Rhino, who tried to go beyond that. But with Mill Creek, a company like Mill Creek, they're like, yeah, we understand that, but here's the point. If you're going to release a season in 2 separate volumes, you don't do less than the first half of that season. You give them the first half of that season, then you give them the other half later on in another volume. You don't split it up into possibly 3 volumes, if that's what Shout Factory was planning for the first season of Heathcliff when they had it. But this video, I know, is probably getting long, so the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, the quality may not be as good as, let's say, Shout Factory, but the quantity is worth it. The price, at times, depending on where you buy it, is worth it. Not saying Shout Factory doesn't do a good job. They've done good with Jem. They've done good with Headmasters, Transformers, Japanese collection. I'm sure they've done, I mean, they obviously do a great job. There's no doubt about it. They did great with Sonic the Hedgehog Stat AM. So I'm not saying they don't do a good job, by remastering stuff and giving you quality over quantity. But the point is, the way I think Mill Creek looks at it, hey, we'd rather use quantity to give people at least the first half of a season and then give them the second half later on, instead of making them wait for 3 volumes for 2 more volumes of 4 discs and maybe 3 discs to complete 1 season. So basically what it is cheaper at times makes it better. More at times does make it better, but sometimes is more of a hassle. But you tell me what you think. Do you agree with what I said about the quality over quantity? Who do you think made a better decision? Mill Creek or Shout Factory? Tell me down below, video response if you like. Zara Nizarak, Sean, I would love to hear your response on this. MJ Knight, I'd like to hear your response. Anybody else here on YouTube, Facebook, let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all later. Comment and video response down below.